My name is Sulaifa and I go to UCBA.
Good, good. I got some question for you, Sulefa.
Sure.
What's your opinion on gun policy in the United States?
For the gun policy, I feel like it needs to be reformed because with all these tragedies that happened recently, so I feel like they need to make a new plan for the gun policies, especially like the fact it's so accessible for the citizens, and with all the violence that happened, I feel like they need to make a reform.
All right, Sulefa, thank you.
No problem.
Hello, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm good.
Can you tell us your name, please?
My name is Jeff.
When do you believe is the proper time to address gun policy?
I feel like we shouldn't have to unless we're going to war. That's the only time we need guns. Because anybody else who got guns, they just rob you with it.
Hello, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. Can you tell us your name, please?
My name's Courtney.
What? How long you been here?
This is my first year here at UCBA.
When do you believe it should be the right time to address the gun policy?
I think that right now is a good time to address it, just with everything that has been going on lately. There's been so many problems. I think it would just be dangerous to not address it now. Like, we need to look at the problems and start trying to fix them.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good.
Can you tell us your name?
James Cullen.
John Scott, I got some question for you.
All right.
What do you believe is our current issue on gun policy?
I feel like in the Second Amendment, it allows us to bear arms, but I feel like there's some things that are a problem with it now today than it was back then. Back then they had muskets, one-shot pistols. Now today we have semi-automatic rifles, which are ARs, which is an armor light rifle, not an assault rifle. Most people think it's an assault rifle, but it's not. And I feel like there's a lot of different things with a lot of people don't know what a gun is, like what certain guns are and what some guns are. Like, to get an assault rifle, you have to have a grade 3 weapon license, which costs hella money, hella time on the range, and all this stuff. But I also feel like we should also have how would I say this? I feel like it's easy to get a gun with certain things, but I feel like it should be maintained. Like, hey, I've gone shooting, I've gone hunting, I like to do all that stuff, but you got all these crazy people, People can, like, there's so many problems with it, you know what I mean? Like, you got like, for hunting with an AR-15, you're allowed 3 rounds. You got allowed 1 in the chamber and 2 in the magazine. That's for usually hunting deer. It depends on what state you're in. I know with down in Florida where I'm from, I got family friends who hunt gators and they use AR-15s and they're only allowed a certain amount of ammunition. You have to pay for the whole gun license. You have to pay for the hunting license. You're only allowed to hunt so much. But I feel like you got some people who, I feel like, if you're like an antique weapon collector, you're gonna have all these weapons, from all different types of stages in life. But if you got someone who's not, people are like trying to like save up for like an apocalypse or something like that. I feel like, yeah, you can have like a certain amount of guns, but I feel like there's some people who have like 50 guns. Like, what are you gonna do with 50 guns? You gonna go shoot them like every day at the range? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's just certain things that I feel like needs to change, but I feel like both the Democrats and the Republicans, because I like to stay neutral on everything, the Republicans are like, oh, everyone should be able to get a gun, and that's true, but we do have mental illness, and it's still a problem today in the United States. It's not really addressed. And then you got the Democrats who are wanting, they want gun policies, but there's some people in the government who want to take all the guns. If you look at history, everyone who takes away all the guns, usually bad things happen. So I feel like we should be able to have guns to protect ourselves, to go hunt and stuff like that. But I feel like in certain conditions, I feel like every case is a certain case where they should be sat down and say, hey, why are you buying the gun? Have this whole mental thing. Like, I feel like Japan, like, even though Japan has their thing where they have, you can only go to certain classes once a month, to be able to do that. I feel like since the United States is just such a huge population compared to Britain and all those countries that have those strict laws, it's kind of hard for us because, you know, the United States, like Texas, is bigger than Great Britain. That's huge. And you also got like, what, 350 million people here? It's kind of hard to try and keep track of everything. So I feel like the government and people just need to sit down and talk about it, not fight about it. Like, do mediation, like say, okay, we got people who hunt in this area who actually use the guns for good causes and everything. You got people, you know, who have firearms that protect themselves and everything. But I feel like guns can be good in a situation, especially if there's a robbery or something, but it can also be bad in certain situations. So I think we just need to sit down and just talk about it as one people and not different peoples, you know what I mean? Like, you know, we're all Americans, you know, we're all here to, you know, have a good time. You know, I feel like everyone should be able to have that good time in their way. That makes sense.
Thank you very much.